is a lifestyle. Sports cards and we live now. Jeremy Lee in the building and every guest that you ever needed. Sports cards after hours keep the hobby heated. Updates, hobby talk like you never seen it. Sports cards live and none could ever beat it. Sports cards is a lifestyle. Sports cards and we live now. Welcome to another episode of Sports Cards Live with your host, Jeremy Lee.
Welcome, everybody, to the PWCC Weekly Hockey Auction Ending Watch Party. It is Sunday night, January the 21st, 2023. My name is Jeremy Lee. We are back for another episode. Looking forward to it. Lots of stuff going on in the hockey world right now, too. And we have some really cards up on auction tonight. Let's bring out Josh Madigan. There he is. Josh, how the heck are you?
I'm good. We're kind of at the time of year here in Minnesota where it hasn't been above zero in about 3 weeks, and it's getting a little old. But other than that, it's good.
Good. Well, listen, I did notice that your Minnesota Wild, they won their game today 5-2 against the Carolina Hurricanes. They're a good team, and your boy and your partner Troy's boy, Kirill Kaprizov, had a hat trick today. Is he starting to turn it back on? Might we see a little bit of a bounce back in his PSA 10 Young Guns when we watch those cards end over the next little while?
I don't know about that. The pop count is insane. It's well over 4,000 now. The deal with him has been injuries. That he just cannot, for the last year, really, it's been one kind of nagging injury after another. But I was looking at the box score, too, and in addition to his hat trick, our guy here, Brock Faber, from Maple Grove, Minnesota, captain of the Golden Gophers. I think had 2 more assists tonight.
Yeah.
So he might be now second in the rookie scoring leading race, which is crazy.
That's crazy. That's really cool for you guys and for him to see, especially with Bedard hurt. I mean, does Bedard's injury preclude him from winning the Calder Trophy this year? I don't know. It's too early to tell. He could come back and pick up where he left off and still win it. But, you know, Faber is, I think, one of these kind of next tier guys who definitely has a shot at it. Also, just want to acknowledge that there is a big football game going on right now. Right, we've got Buffalo and Kansas City, and I saw that this is pretty cool. Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce set the record for most touchdowns in NFL history postseason by a quarterback receiver duo. And I'm thinking to myself, so Montana Jerry Rice didn't do it, and Jim Kelly and whoever he was passing to in Buffalo went to the Super Bowl 4 times in a row and didn't win. Lots
Brady
of
and Gronk.
Who?
Brady and Gronk.
Brady and Gronk. I mean, yeah, I was surprised by that, but that's pretty cool. Other big news in hockey: Patrick Waugh, the legendary Montreal Canadiens, Colorado Avalanche goaltender, has become the head coach of the New York Islanders. He hasn't coached in the NHL since 2016. He was a coach for the Colorado Avalanche for 3 or 4 seasons. He left after the 16 season, and now he's back with the Islanders. Their old head coach, Lane Lambert, was just in his second year. They fire him, and they bring on Patrick Waugh the same day. Makes me think that they had this in the works. They had Patrick Waugh waiting in the wings to come on. But, hey, that's pretty cool. And I always want to see and I'm curious to see how that may or may not impact Patrick Waugh's cards. Right now, they are playing, and the Islanders are losing 2-1. Just about 5 minutes into the third period. So would sure be nice if Patrick Waugh could win his debut, but we will see. And Michael puts up what I was about to mention. Corey Perry, no longer with the Chicago Blackhawks, signs with the Oilers. And that's an interesting one because they just set the record for most wins in a row in the history of the NHL by a Canadian franchise. That's a big record, 13 wins in a row. And now they're going to bring in a guy like Corey Perry. What's that going to do to the locker room, to the chemistry of the team? I don't know. Hopefully they have everything buttoned up there and it doesn't affect anything for them as a team. But what are you have any thoughts on that one, Josh, or even just the Oilers' performance lately and their record and the fact that they're doing it without McDavid and Draisaitl scoring 4 goals a game?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Well, it's the first thing that struck me is that this team, as good as it is, you had Gretzky and Messier and Yari Curry and Paul Coffey, and they weren't even able to accomplish that. So
Yeah.
that's kind of sticks out to me there. On the Watt thing, I think it's awesome. Sorry, Islanders fans, but the team's been a little boring the last couple of years to watch, and he'll definitely make it a must see, right? Because he's a little bit of a live wire at times, and does some. He was the guy that sort of revolutionized the pulling the goalie with 4 minutes left in the game. When he first came into the league, and so you never know what you'll get, and he's a little bit of a hothead, and it's just good to have legends of the game kind of front and center in the NHL. You got Gretzky on the TNT broadcast now, and you got Wah back in front and center with the Islanders, and so maybe it'll be more interest in collecting his cards as well.
Yeah, you said the Islanders have been kind of boring for the last couple of years. I mean, with apologies to Islanders fans, they've been boring since the early 80s, really. I mean, since they had their dynasty, Pierre Turgeon was good for them. It's been tough slugging for the Islanders, and I'm not, my teams haven't been much better, so it's not a knock, just kind of calling it as it is. But we'll see what Patrick Roy brings. Let's say hello to Michael. What is going on? Todd McDonald, welcome. Name, good to see you. You're here every Sunday. Studio Sports, what's going on? Yes, the Battle of Alberta last night. My Flames lost, allowing the Oilers to set the record. So, it is what it is. Larry says Patrick Roy quitting on the Avs, which he did do. He resigned. Was a blessing in disguise getting Bednar as their new coach, who's been just fantastic for season after season. Paul Santos, greetings and welcome. 90s hockey collector, the professor. And Sundin says, did the Island? Yeah, they had Palfy from 92 until 98. He was exciting for he was definitely the most exciting player for the Islanders in their history outside of Mike Bossy. I say that with a bit of bias. I love Palfy. All right, Josh, let's bring up the auction. We have, I think it's 207 hockey cards ending tonight. 207. We got 50 of them selected from oldest to newest. I'm going to do it just a little bit differently at the beginning because we are only 22 minutes away from all access extended bidding. And I'm going to put a link in the chat right now, guys. That link in the chat, if you click on that link and you go bid on any cards in the auction tonight, and should you win, Sports Cards Live YouTube channel will receive a small commission. Just want to let you all know I'm now officially I think after almost 3 years of doing this, I would have been an official affiliate, but I wasn't. I am now. Sports Cards Live is now. So there's the link. Please use it if you don't mind. I'd greatly appreciate it. Okay, we have some people calling me out on the Islander stuff, and I love it. Mitch, Pat LaFontaine, love him. I have a Pat LaFontaine card right here that I just got in the mail. There's my new Pat LaFontaine emblems of endorsement. Love Pat LaFontaine for sure. But I'm still a big Palfy fan. Michael says Yashin had a couple good seasons for them too. Sure he did. Studio says I click on it. It says block or report. Okay. I don't know. It's interesting. Let me try. Well, thanks for trying. I got to get that figured out better. But thanks for letting me know, Studio Sports. Okay, guys. So to kick off the auction, 264 tall boys. We got the Bobby Hull and a PSA 5 and the checklist. Maybe we've looked at a checklist before, Josh, but this might be the coolest checklist going. Let's open up the image. Look at the image on this thing. Like, you've got 3 players in here, goalies down, whoever that is about to go. You got Terry Sawchuk on here, right here, John Ferguson down here, Pitt Martin, Gilles Tremblay, Elmer Vasco. I mean, we know several of these names, not all of them, Gary Bergman. That's just a cool checklist. It's a PSA 6. And then we got an Yvonne Cornwallier rookie card, PSA 6, 1965 tops. We have 2 of them. We have 2 6s. I thought, well, let's see. This one is, and let's open them up and just have a little bit of a peek and see which one we like better in order to predict which one we think should sell for more. So here's the first one. Is that the first one? Yeah, this is the first one. Side to side centering looks good. Top to bottom, it's definitely low. Color is great. Registration is great On this one, yeah, see, this one is also a 6, but you've got it's off center, left to right, and top to bottom, which is less preferable to this one here, I would say. But color, registration, corners and edges all look very nice. Corners and edges look very nice on this one too. Maybe the top right corner is slightly not as perfect as the others, but I would much prefer this copy over this copy, mostly because of the thick border here on the right versus the skinnier one here on the left. So we've got those 265 Cornwall rookies, but we also, to complement them, we have from 67 the Gordie Howe Topps card, PSA 8, and the Rogie Vachon Hall of Fame rookie, also in a PSA 8. Josh, I mean, we say it a lot, but I think you and I both really like the 67 Topps set.
Oh, yeah.
I know it's Bobby Orr's second year. So if you're looking to maybe, accumulate the key cards, like some people do this, you want the key cards from every set along the way. Well, from 1967, you're looking at two of them here in Gordie Howe, Rogie Vachon, and then the Bobby Orr second year. There's also, I believe it's there's two other rookie cards instead. I believe it's Glenn Sather and Derek Sanderson. I believe Derek Sanderson and Glenn Sather also have rookie cards in the 67 series. So, but Vachon is the most important rookie in the set, and he's a Hall of Famer. So you need that for the set registry, and the Gordie Howe you need if you're doing the Gordie Howe run. Let's just take a quick look at the Gordie Howe, see how we like it. Centering is off side to side. Top, bottom looks good. Edges and corners look really nice to me. I like this copy a lot. I love I think we said this once before, Josh. We got the three primary colors here, right? We got the red, the blue, and the yellow. The card is just phenomenal. Really like it myself. So there we go. That's the first 6. That'll take us into the up to the end of the 60s. Josh, I'd like to give you an opportunity to make comments on these first 6 cards.
Well, the one thing I was thinking about as you were talking, about the Gordie Howe and the Rogie Vachon is in Ultra Modern, we get a few hundred of different rookie cards we can collect for a player we like. We typically had one back in the day. And so it kind of puts you as a vintage collector, into maybe 2 sort of modes with a player UPC. You either try to improve the rookie card that you get and trade up over time, or invest up over time, or you work on that player run and find other cards from their playing career that you really like and would fit in your PC. And so for both, obviously it's the Vachon rookie, but for the Gordie Howe, it's just a really cool card if you're a Gordie Howe fan, I think.
I agree. Great card. Both of them, excuse me. Both of them are great cards. Josh, what did you think about the Cornwall? Sorry if you mentioned it already.
Oh, I'm a centering snob. So the one that's centered better, I think it was the first one we looked at, is going to speak to me more. It just kind of fits my need for balance.
I get that. Same here. All right, let's continue. We're into the 70s now. We got a Gilbert Perreault PSA 7 O-Pee-Chee. And, as we know, this card is notoriously off center. So this side to side centering, while you might think it's off center, it is, but it's tough to get much better than that as far as this particular card goes. And outside of I don't know what's going on up here, is if this is some surface issues. You see a little bit of a spot over there, some over here. This is not glare. That's actually in the design, Josh's favorite, the spotlight here, whatever that is. But there is some surface action going on up here that does cause me a bit of concern. I don't know that it would be necessarily be a deal breaker for me, but be aware of that if you're considering this card. Registration looks really nice. Clarity, color is all good in other places. I don't mind this copy at all, despite those potential surface issues at the top. It's funny. This is a 7, and then you got from the same year the Bobby Clark O-Pee-Chee. This is a PSA 5, but right away you can tell that the centering looks much stronger. Maybe it's got a top right corner, has a bit of rounding going on. This looks pretty good for a 5, though, to me, Josh. Nothing, I'm noticing, is there a little bit of tilt perhaps? Or is just the card might be in here on an angle, but not, what this is for an EX5. This copy looks pretty nice to me. And then we have a Topps Gretzky PSA 7. I don't think there were any O-Pee-Chees in the auction this week. Let me just scroll down and make sure. Yeah, I think this is the only Gretzky rookie in the auction this week. It's a Topps copy. It's a PSA 7. It's got a bit of that same thing we saw in the Perot here at the top, right above his name. You guys can, I hope you can see that. Looks like a bit of snow effect going on over there. You've got a bit on the side here as well. Top corners look nice, not perfect, but very nice. Edges look great. You got a fisheye right here on the border. Oil drop is good. Bottom edge, bottom corners have a touch of white showing, but nothing that tells me this card is overgraded. Centering, it is off center a little bit to the right, but it's not I call this an average 7 in my experience for this one. Josh, any thoughts on these three?
I just got it. There's like a really fun fact that Troy had researched on his show about Gilbert Perreault that I just think is awesome. So he retired at the end of the 85-86 season. And then the NHLPA, or their agreement with the NHL and NHLPA, had made some change to the pension program that would take effect to anyone who had played at least 20 games into the next season, 1986-87. So he unretires, comes back, scores 9 goals in his first 14 games, and then retires after the 20th game, and probably had a nice bump in his pension. I just thought that was kind of a neat, fun fact for a legendary Hall of Fame player who played his whole career with the Sabres.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. The Gretzky is I would say average too, and I agree with you on the Bobby Clark. For a PSA 5, that's a really strong copy that has, I think, very nice eye appeal.
Yeah, I thought so too. All right, guys, I'm going to try a different link into the chat now. Let me know if this one that I just put in works. Now I'm curious. This was actually very helpful. If anyone out there can click on it and let me know if that one worked, I'd greatly appreciate it. Okay, let's keep on rolling here into the 80s now, but not for long. We're only going to be there for 2 cards. This is a BVG 9.5 Ray Bourque O-Pee-Chee rookie. So whenever we're looking at a Beckett graded 80s card, I always want to see, do I think that the card is sheet cut versus pack pulled? And my opinion is that this is sheet cut. Does not appear, those borders just seem a bit too sharp to me to be pack pulled. Let's scroll out a bit. It's got corners are 9.5, surface 9.5, edges 9.5, centering is a 9, which the centering seems pretty good to me. I'm surprised it even seems a little undergraded, unless it's got to do with the back of the card, which it may. Which it may. Thank you guys for the updates. Not a bad looking copy at all. I'm surprised centering is a 9. I would have expected that to be 9.5 because it looks really good to me, guys. And then we also have this card here. This is a 1989 Topps Mario Lemieux, and it's just a fun card. What's this? What the price is sitting right now at $155. I don't know the population on this, but it's from that 1 year. That 1 year from the O-Pee-Chee Topps when they existed together from 1968 until 1990 or so. This is the only year, in my opinion, where the Topps is the more desirable card. And this is the Mario Lemieux PSA 10. So pretty cool. I've never owned this card, but it's one that I may one day want to get a hold of. So pretty cool piece. Josh, anything to mention on the Bourque or the Lemieux?
Yeah, we talked about the Lemieux on our show for quite a while. The pop is 24. It's strangely rare. You would never think that a card would have that low a pop. And then if you looked at too, the other thing I looked at is the 88 tops, the 90 tops, and those have much higher pop. So it's just this 1 year has a pretty low gem rate, and you would think that there would be a million of them, but like I said, it's pretty low pop count. And what makes the card is Mario's flow.
Yeah.
And it's like he knew Yager was coming next year and had to like up his hair game or something like that.
In what you were just saying, did you mention the population of this card in PSA 10?
24.
24. Yeah, pop 24 for a Mario, player run card. That's pretty low. 155. This card ungraded, it's not, I don't think you'd have to pay $5 to buy this card ungraded. You might be able to get it for, you might be able to get it for $1.50. But now here we are 100 times $1.50 simply because of the grading scarcity, not the card scarcity, the grading scarcity. It's one of 24 PSA 10s. Josh, did you happen to notice the total submissions or even the gem rate?
448 submitted. And there's 95%. 5%. The pop count for the OPG is 90.
90 versus 24.
Yeah.
Okay. Good stuff. I think it's a cool card, like whenever you can look back into the 80s when there were so many cards being produced and find, a one that has such a low gem rate and a low overall like absolute number of cards graded. I find that interesting for myself. And then finally on this row, 1997 Donruss Elite status Wayne Gretzky out of 100 at $220 right now. So I find this interesting because it's a 90s Gretzky insert out of 100. And that is kind of a bit of a sweet spot for hockey collectors, 90s collectors. It's an Beckett 8.5 holder. To me, the grade when it comes to a card like this, it doesn't matter that much. I'm not saying it's unimportant, but for me, when I'm collecting, I don't really care. I don't want it to look like a 2, but whether it's a 7, an 8, a 9, or even a 10, it's about just owning the card at that point. And if this is a card that you like the looks of, it's got a neat die cut pattern going around it. It's a card to definitely consider. Did notice that the Lemieux received a bid. If that's anyone in the audience, good luck to you on acquiring that card tonight. Josh, any thoughts on the Gretzky?
Yeah, it's a cool card. I don't know a lot about a lot of the inserts from this era, but there wasn't a lot of out of 100 cards back in the mid 90s, and so I imagine that it's can't go wrong with it, I guess. But I just think it's a nice looking card. So it's something that I probably would want to learn more about before I bid on. But
yeah,
I am interested to learn more.
Yeah, it is a very cool guy. I just want to thank you, Professor Michael, for letting me know. I believe what you're telling me is that the link does work. That's great to know. Thank you. And Mike Double V, welcome to the show. Good to see you. Sundin up here said, I'm new to vintage. That 1967 Topps looks great. Yeah, Sundin, I just love those. Absolutely. Jeff McMahon is here as well. Gary Saboth has joined us. Gary, what's going on? Welcome to the show. All right. And David G has joined. What's up, David? Good to see you, pal. All right, guys, let's keep on rolling with the next row. Maybe my favorite card of the auction, the 1998 Bowman's Best Steve Yzerman Atomic Refractor PSA 9. I may put in a bid on this one. We'll have to see. We also have and this is out of 100. It's stamped on the back. And these atomic refractors are just beautiful. We also have the 1998 Upper Deck Canadian McDonald's Gretzky jersey patch, numbered out of 198. It's a PSA 5. Let's look at this because I have a feeling that I'm going to think to myself that, yeah, it's a 5, but who cares? This is such a cool card. That is a facsimile autograph. It's obviously not his. It says authentic game worn jersey right on the front. And I'm trying to see why it's a 5. At first I look at corners and edges. Nothing jumps out at me, but what does jump out at me is this whatever this might be that I'm circling with my mouse. I don't know if that is a little bit of a scratch in the surface. Is it missing the red ink there? If that's the case, then I understand the grade. I might think it's a little bit harsh because it's not that big. It's not that big of an issue. But it's definitely there. Otherwise, you've got the game used jersey from that jersey he's wearing, I believe, in the shape of the Canadian Maple Leaf, which is pretty cool. And from 1998, this is early in jersey cards. This would be a third-year memorabilia card for Wayne Gretzky, and maybe even, as far as Upper Deck goes, a second-year memorabilia card. I'm not 100% certain on that, but I know he didn't have a jersey in 96, but he did in 97. So this might be a second year memorabilia card for Wayne Gretzky. And then finally in this row is a 1999 Upper Deck 6th Sense Quantum Gold 1 of 1. Now, I didn't even know these existed, you guys. I did not even know that this 1 of 1 Quantum Gold existed. About 20 years ago, I collected this set, the insert set. They weren't numbered. They were just, and I think I bought the whole set as a lot for like $9 of however 12 cards or whatever it was. And then later on, I found out, Josh, that there was a quantum parallel out of 100. And I thought, well, I should have been collecting that. That's way cooler. And then literally like this week, I learned there's a quantum gold 1 of 1 that exists. And this is the Keith Tkachuk. It's a PSA 8. And, as far, again, rare 90s inserts, parallels of inserts. This is, I think, one that is not that well known, but is maybe a bit of a sleeper as far as, hobby appreciation. Josh, over to you.
A huge fan of the Bauman's Best atomic refractors. Absolutely love them. Think they're not just some of the best cards in the 90s, but the best hockey cards ever made. And there's only ever been 3 sales of that I could find in Card Ladder for a Steve Yzerman out of 100. So they do not sell very often. And right now it's a pretty good deal. And then the Gretzky is cool. I don't love facsimile autos. So that one, I just have to wrap my head around. And then when it comes to the Keith Tkachuk and the Upper Deck 6th Sense, I just go back to my comment, Jeremy, where I think that for me anyways, the mid to late 90s is such a treasure trove of just neat things that you can almost find new stuff every day. Well, I'll give you like another stupid example real quick, but I've been kind of obsessed with the 2002 Topps Heritage hockey set for the last couple weeks. And, it's just like in this hobby, you can find stuff like this that you stumble onto. And it's like your first day in the hobby all over again, which I just love.
So which year of Topps Heritage did you stumble on?
The 2002. So it's the 1966 Topps.
Yeah. They made it 3 years in a row. 0001, 1, yep. 2, and 2, 3. And I love that. I have an unopened box of that in my.
Really?
Yeah, it's actually just sitting behind the picture of my son there. Because I used to crack that I never bought in my life more than a box of cards at once until 2002-3. That product, I went and I split a case with the guy who owned an LCS here. So whatever that was, 4 or 8 boxes I got, or 6, whatever. And I put together the Retrofractor parallel set. And I did it the year before as well. And then I had an unopened box. Yeah. Is that a Retrofractor?
It's just a chrome. So it's out of 667.
So those are called Retrofractors.
Oh.
Yeah. And they numbered them to, the year basically with another, what are those out of 667?
Yeah.
They're awesome. The year before modeled the 1958 top set, so they're out of 558. Yeah. And then the year before they did the 54 set, and I don't know what those are out of. Maybe 554. That's the one year I didn't do the Retrofractor parallel set, but must say I love them. They're very, very cool. Okay, thanks for those comments, Josh. Before we go on, the professor clarifies the link only worked if you copied and pasted it. Well, thank you for that. I'll keep that in mind, Professor, and ask you guys if you are going to bid on anything tonight to copy that link and paste it and bid that way. I'd greatly appreciate it. 90 says McDonald's had some wicked Gretzky redemptions in the late 90s. They did. And Michael says it's actually Gretzky's 3rd jersey card ever. The first is the 97 McDonald's, then the 97-98 Upper Deck Series 2, and then this one. All right, very cool. Thank you for that bit of trivia there, Michael. Appreciate it. That's one thing I don't keep good tabs on that. Okay, guys, 3 seconds until all access extended bidding starts, and that is going to be right now. And right now, you can see every item that we are watching needs to get a bid in the next 30 minutes, or that card will sell for the amount you're seeing in front of you right now on our screens. And the Yzerman is bid up to 410 now. All right, let's go to the next row. 2 Crosby Young Gun rookies right beside each other. We have an SGC 10 and a BGS 9.5. Both of them are gem mint. And in accordance with those grading companies' grading standards, they are both gem mint. Here's the SGC 10. I mean, even this top edge this is probably just light reflecting, but it doesn't look perfect in here. But I've seen enough of these to know that is likely just the light reflecting and not an actual issue with the card. You know, nothing really wrong with this. Bottom right corner, I don't know if that's an issue. Right on the bottom here. Not sure if this is any surface issues here, these little spots, or if that's on the slab. I just don't know. And then the BGS copy, yeah, you see that same sort of, you're seeing this. This is actually not light. That is in the stands. That little piece of white right up at the border is right over there too. But the centering is a little bit different on the two cards. I think that's what's going on. I could be wrong. But, oh no, they are in the same place, actually. They are in the exact same place. Yeah, they're in the same place. My bad on that. This has subgrades of 9.5 centering, 9.5 edges, 9.5 surface, and 9 corners. And must be the bottom right corner because those other 3 corners look pretty good to me. Right here, again, tough to see through the image and through all the layers of Beckett plastic, but that might be the issue right down there, why it's not 9.5 on corners. So you have your options tonight between 2 gem mint Crosby Young Guns, and Crosby is the GOAT. He is the GOAT. Well, you know, since Gretzky and Lemieux. All right. And before I ask Josh's thoughts on these, we have another Crosby card, one of my favorites, the 2008 Ultra EX Essential Credentials Red. And it's a PSA 8. And these cards are glorious in hand. You've got this foil cardboard die cut in the shape of like an X, and it's lying on top of this orange acetate. And then you've got the hollow foil on the acetate, the gold serially numbered stamp 25 of 87. So the reds are out of 87 and the greens were out of, well, that complementary number to get you to 100. So in Crosby's case would have been 13. He's got 13 of the greens / yellows and 87 of these red / oranges. It just depends what color you think they are. But these are awesome. These are the first ever essential credentials in hockey. So, and they're from 08. Ultra EX was the brand. It's a PSA 8. I have a copy of this card myself. I own a BGS 9.5, just to let everybody know. I do not own a Crosby Young Guns at this point in time. Josh, your thoughts on these 3 Crosbys?
Well, I always look at like when you see a Crosby Young Guns in an SGC or BGS, just comparing it to a PSA 10 value. And I don't look at current PSA 10, but it looks like about $1,200 is a going rate for SGC 10 and about $1,600 for a BGS 9.5. And so I always look at like, you know, can you get that SGC discount or the SGC coupon, however you want to look at it. And if you really closely inspect the card and are very comfortable with the condition of it, it could be a good value there, especially if you're adding it to your PC, whether you keep it in that holder or crack it or whatever you do with it. And then I've always had an interest in essential credentials cards. I've actually never owned one. Would probably like to, but I think at the Certified Diamond Dealer Conference a week or so ago, Upper Deck announced that they're bringing EX back as a set. So that must make you pretty happy then.
Yeah, it does. I think it's pretty cool. I spoke to someone at Upper Deck yesterday or the day before, and he got me very excited. I talked to Billy. I think he's building the set, and he got me very excited about now I don't know what this is not. I don't remember if it's a 23, 24, 24, 25 product, 25, 26. I'm going to guess it's 24, 25. So it's going to be a bit, I think, but in any event, it's coming. And I'm excited for it for sure. All right. We have a 2009 O-Pee-Chee Premier Alex Ovechkin Black 1 of 1 base card parallel. Now, these are not my favorite 1 of 1 base parallels out there in the hobby, but it is still a 1 of 1 Alex Ovechkin from 2009. I mean, that's, the first half decade of his career. I don't know that the first half decade is the thing in the hobby. I just kind of made that up, but it's, it's early-ish in his career, considering he's going on 20 years here. And it's a 1-on-1. Only one person can own it. It is graded as authentic. Don't know why, but it is what it is. I think someone's going to, I think at this price, it's a steal. But again, I don't know what 1-of-1s from this set sell for. So keep that in mind. I don't really know. Two more Crosbys, guys. The 2012 Fleer Retro Hot Shots in a PSA 9 and the 2020 Metal Universe PMG Red, the retro version, also in a PSA 8 at $230. The Hot Shots. Now, to me, this card is called Hot Shots. And now I'm noticing on the label, PSA doesn't even put Hot Shots. They put H/S. Now, to me, that is more important than, 96, 97 Flair Showcase. That's the tribute that it is, but really it's a Hot Shot. So I would wish they could have spelled that out. But in any event, two awesome cards. I am partial to the Hot Shots. I own a copy. I don't own a copy of this, of the PMG Red Crosby, but it is the first retro PMG Crosby since 2012, since they've started doing them again. So keep that in mind. Josh, your comments on these three?
I'd love to see the Ovechkin in hand because, sometimes the images don't do the card justice. And it's just where you maybe like the idea of the card better than the card itself is, maybe the case with that. But obviously a 1-on-1 Ovechkin from 15 years ago is a pretty big deal. Huge fan of the Hot Shots insert. Love the Crosby. My complaint, and we've talked about this before on the show too, is that here's the 2022, and I just wish that they wouldn't repeat players like this. Now they used a different image of Crosby, but I don't love how the card I'm holding kind of muddies the waters for that 2012.
Let's
I feel
see
like
your
it
card
diminished.
again. Right. Yeah. So sorry, where is that from?
2022 Metal Universe.
Right. Yeah. So now they've done two of these. I'm not a fan at all. Yeah. Cool. Still okay. Let me sort of restate that. I love the card in your hand, Josh, and I love the original. I think they're both very cool cards. I just wish that they would have changed the design, change the colors of the flames, do something.
Or change the player. Yeah.
The die cut might be a little bit different, but it does seem to be very, very similar, if not the same, actually. Yeah, not a huge fan of them keeping on recycling old designs, but hopefully they will move it off in a different direction soon. All right, guys. Mark Messier, PMG Red from 2012 Fleer Retro, also from 2012 Fleer Retro, Crosby Jambalaya, PSA 8. Love it. And then the Ultra Stars Gold Sidney Crosby in a PSA 10. This is a beautiful card. It is a tribute to the original Ultra Stars Golds from, I think, 96 or 97 in basketball. It's not, they didn't do them the exact same way, but they're still really nice. I don't know population 8. Pop 8 on this Crosby from 2012 Fleer Retro. That's pretty cool. I like that. Pop 3 on this particular Jambalaya in PSA holders, none graded higher, and a pop 6 on the Messier PMG Red, sitting at $90 right now. I like all three of these cards. I don't collect Mark Messier cards unless it's part of a set I'm working on, but this is a really nice PMG. I mean, the red, white, and blue uniform, you got the color match going on here. He'd also color match with the blue, which is really cool. But I like this. I like it, not for me, but I like it as a card. And I love the Jambalaya here, and then the Ultra Stars Gold. I don't love, but I like it. I like it. Josh, how do you feel about these three?
Well, I think the color match aspect of the Messier PMG is really cool. And then just in general, if I could open up any case of hockey product, I think I would choose 2012 Fleer Retro. Just the amount of variety in really cool cards and unique cards, and almost like even the tributes seem perfect. I don't know. I have such a love affair with this set.
I do too. I remember opening a box when the product came out and pulling some of the maybe a Hot Shots or something and being like, what is this? Like I wasn't as familiar with it back then, but that led me to learning about them and falling in love with them. So, all right, continuing on, more PMG, lots of Crosbys tonight, guys. 2 more Crosbys in this row. You could put together tonight an unbelievable Crosby rare insert collection just tonight alone. But let's start with this Patrick Kane. Patrick Kane, now with the Detroit Red Wings. This is the 2013 Fleer Showcase PMG Red. My favorite PMG design. I just love the looks with the scope, these scope patterns in the background. These cards are, and I have a Crosby and a Gretzky up there in my cabinet, and I'm just looking at them, and as I move back and forth, you can see the light. They're beautiful. These cards are among my favorite design cards ever made. We also have the 2014 Fleer Showcase Blue Ice out of 99. Only 99 copies of this made. Only 99 copies. And it's an SGC 9.5, and it's at $27. Seems cheap to me. And then we have the 2014 PMG Crosby Red, numbered out of 100. This is 100 out of 100. I do believe that in this year, though, there's only, I think there's less than 90 reds because the first 10 are green. They numbered it the traditional way this year. And it's a really cool card. I would have designed it a bit differently. If you get rid of this gray at the top and the bottom, I'd like it a lot more. Still a pretty cool card. It's a PSA 7, only 5 graded higher, you guys. That's a pretty small graded higher number. Before we go to Josh, we'll just talk about the Draisaitl because it's from the same year as the Crosby here. This is the Draisaitl rookie PMG Blue. This is numbered. It says numbered out of 100, but it's in the same sequence as these reds that are numbered out of 100. So there are not. I think there's I don't know that it's the split, Josh, but are there 10 greens, maybe 25 blues, and 65 reds, something like that? You add up all the colors, it's going to add up to 100. This is not itself out of 100 in blue. It's a pop 4, 2 graded higher, rookie year card, for the technical people, $360 right now. Josh, your thoughts on these 4 cards?
Well, I just actually bought up my very first 2013 Fleer Showcase Red PMG. I got a Timu that comes in the mail tomorrow.
Timu Solani?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm actually, I looked a long time at the photos, and I'm excited based on your feedback as to, hopefully to see what it looks like in hand. So I'm really excited to get that one.
You will love
tomorrow.
It. Beautiful.
And
what color? What color did you say yours was? Red?
It's red. Mine's red. It's like red. Yeah.
It's great. Yeah.
And then it's like, man, somebody it seems like had a really awesome insert collection and just letting it all go tonight because it's almost tough to choose from. I agree with you on the PMG design for the 2014s. The one interesting thing about the Draisaitl one, though, is you got, again, that color match. So I think that makes it a little bit more appealing from that regard.
For sure. Okay, thanks, Josh. We are about 17 minutes away from the next the 5-minute window. So any of these cards that are not green here at the bottom need bids. Looks like everything. Let's just go to the top and do a quick scroll through and see. So these are all going to make it to the next level. These the Howe and the Vachon still need bids. All 3 of these cards need bids to get to the next window. The Bork does. These 2 are going to go. The Yzerman's going. The Kachuk is going. The Gretzky needs a bid to go to the next window. The Crosby Young Guns need a bid. The EX Essential Credentials is going to go. These 3 are going to go. These 3 are going to the next level. These 3 are going to the next level, as are these 3 in the Draisaitl. But before we go to these 2 cards, and this one just got a bid here. I want to address Mike Kemmel's question where he says, which of the 2 Matthews PMGs do you guys like more? So, Mike, I didn't forget about you. Let's scroll and find them. So we have one here. And where's the other one? I'm sure we must be watching them. This one here, I guess. Okay, so let me just open these up for a moment. Mike Kemmel, please confirm that those are the 2 PMGs that you are thinking of when you ask that question. If you're still with us, please confirm so that we're going to start anyway, but let's take a look. So Josh, we've got this guy here, 2022 PM. Oh, he says yes. Thank you, Mike. PMG green, numbered 1 of 100, but keep in mind only 10 of these are green. And PWCC does mark this one as being out of 100. I wish that they would start to give the complete information because it's out of 10. So if you don't know that, you're just, you're getting something better, or you think you're overpaying. But pretty cool card. You got to consider it is an artist rendition. Doesn't look anything like him. Now that I zoom in, this does not look like Austin Matthews to me. Josh, does that look like Matthews to you?
No, it doesn't. It's just a comic book. I think this is based off the 2013 Marvel PMGs. Yeah. And so they tried to find comic artists that would do sort of like what the comic book inspired interpretation of that player would be.
Yeah. And if it looked a bit like him, I would say that. And I mean, it's not, maybe it doesn't need to, but I'm just an observation. Doesn't look like him. To Mike Kemmel, I like the card, Mike, but it's a little too gimmicky for me personally. I wouldn't add this to my collection. If it looked more like him, maybe I would. Fanimations have gone through a similar sort of pattern where they originally looked like the art was good, looked like the player very much so. And then they've done more and more. This year is like this bobblehead kind of Fanimation, actually pretty cool. And I like that, but this doesn't look like him. So Mike Kemmel, this to me is a far superior card. Now, what I don't like about the Austin Matthews rookie year PMGs is that so much of the red background is covered by his white jersey and his big head on the card. I just think it's a terrible image selection that they used for this particular card. They could have done so much better to pick a picture of this guy who was the first overall draft pick to make these cards a bit more enticing or desirable. But they didn't know at the time that the PMG was going to blow up the way it did, I suppose, and didn't give it the image that I think it deserves. Now, all that said, it's still very important. It is a rookie year PMG. It's the red, and I still like it. It's a good picture of him. I just wish that they left more red on there. So those are my thoughts. But to summarize, like if there was as much green showing here, if there was much red showing here as there is green here, I'd like this card a lot more. But this is rookie. This is like 7th year, and this isn't even him. This is him. So it's an easy decision for me. This one by a mile for me. This one I wouldn't personally even consider collecting these particular cards. Josh, can you chime in on these?
Yeah, I think with the 2013 retros that it's a little bit of a polarizing card, and that people either love them or hate them. And so if you're buying for a PC, then you don't ever plan to get rid of a card, then it really doesn't matter. Just buy whatever card speaks to you the most. But if you want to maybe factor in resale down the road, I think you just got to know with the 2013s that it's a little bit of a, half the people are going to love them and half people maybe not so much. I would probably lean towards the rookie PMG just because it's a rookie, but I don't love the design. Just like with you, it's just feels off balance a little bit. To me now, Austin Matthews is kind of weird without a mustache.
Yeah,
throws me off a little bit.
Yeah, well, yes and no. I mean, I've seen so many of his cards without it that it's okay for me. But I hear what you're saying. Mike does say, he agrees about the look of the green out of 10, but out of 150 is a big deal. So yeah, the rookie I just said out of 100, it's out of 150 this year. The PMG Reds, and the counterpoint to that, Mike, in my opinion, is that this is a rookie card, a rookie year card. I'm going to be saying, I just got to warn the audience, like as the months and weeks, as the weeks, months, and years go by, I'm going to be referring to all rookie year cards as rookie cards out of just convenience for me, even though technically they may not count, but to me they're as good. So know that. In any event, to me, this is a rookie card, and that is, as important if a rookie year card maybe being as important as the print run, being out of 10 on this one down here, that again isn't, it's a cartoon image of him. So I don't know, Mike, if you are really deciding between the two, go with which one you like better. But there you have some of our thoughts on them. And with that, Josh, let's back up and go to this 2016 Fleer Showcase Essential Credentials Future of Sidney Crosby, numbered out of 41. It's a PSA 8. These cards are awesome. I own a copy of this card. In the background, what you can't see because of the dark background is actually, this is like a picture of like mountains and sky on very clear acetate. You can't see it here, but this background is acetate, see-through, and it's got greens and blues and whites in it. It's pretty darn cool and nice. Numbered on the back out of 41, as mentioned. I love these cards personally. He has the now version that's out of 2, which I own one and I know who owns the other. So those aren't ever going to hit the market, but the future out of 41 is available. And they have a Mitch Marner, also PMG. Like, look at the Marner versus the Matthews. How much nicer is the Marner card over the Matthews? Like, why didn't they switch them around? I'd been a lot happier, but this is such a nicer card. PSA 8 as well. Pop 12, 5 graded higher, numbered out of 150. And you can pick up both Leaf rookies from 2016 here, with minus Nylander, and have the pair, which is pretty cool. Josh, any comments on these two?
Just really, I agree with you. I like the Marner a lot better, just from a visual standpoint. And then the Crosby Essential Credentials is another awesome card, and would love to have it.
It's awesome. It's awesome. We didn't talk about the 2 McDavids up here. We've got the Future Watch Auto Patch Retro. This is a Pop 1, 3 graded higher. It's a PSA 9. Sorry, no, it isn't. The autograph is a 9. The card is simply slabbed as authentic. And let's take a quick look at the card, because this is a very special card. Looks, I don't know why it's authentic, but I mean, listen, it does have some a little bit of corner wear there, a little bit of edge wear, minor, maybe some white showing on the corner. The autograph's beautiful. It graded a 9. What's wrong with it? This streak here? Like, that doesn't even bother me. I don't know. Anyway, nice patch, nice 3-color patch with stitching and mesh, numbered out of 25 right over here. Full body shot. Looks just like the 0506 Future Watch auto patches. So pretty cool card, sitting right now at $5,250. And then we have a Young Gun, a PSA 9 Young Gun at $750. Josh, any comments on the 2 McDavids?
I'm shocked how low the retro Future Watch auto patch is right now. This exact card sold in April for $8,500. So who knows? It might go up. All-time high on this card is $35,000 for a PSA 10.
$35,000 for this card?
Not that exact one, but for a different copy, a PSA 10 copy in September. So
September
again,
of 2023.
September of 2023.
Wow.
35,000. And I actually, it was on eBay, and I verified it was paid in Terrapeak, because it was such a big sale on that one. And I actually prefer it. When on our show, Troy and I compared it to the base Future Watch auto patch, which is out of 100, of course. And it was kind of funny. Troy preferred the base design, and I actually like this design, the 0506 retro design, a little bit better. And to me too, it has that kind of unique, that tie-in to that 0506 set. So you have Crosby, Ovechkin, then you have sort of the next generational player in McDavid. And I just think it's a real cool card. And at $5,200 is an absolute steal.
Well, it's certainly low, and that PSA 10 was likely a 1 of 1, I'm guessing. And that 25 or 35,000 you said on that is the PSA 10 Pop 1 Premium. Like, there is such a thing in this hobby as a PSA 10 Pop 1 Premium. We realized it on that McDavid PMG Blue that was mine that sold a few weeks ago. It's that, again, the PSA Pop 1 Premium, PSA 10 Pop 1 Premium. All right, let's go down to here. Some more PMGs, guys. All of these are from 2016. The second year McDavid in the red, the rookie year Sebastian Aho in blue, and the Sidney Crosby in blue. These are all PSA 8s. They're all, I've owned all of these at one time. I don't remember if I own these anymore. To be honest, I just don't know. I've moved some cards lately. I'm not sure, but they're all really cool. Aho is one of the studs on the Carolina Hurricanes, and of course, we all know who McDavid and Crosby are. And the Oilers have won 13 in a row, Josh. I mean, I don't see them as a real true Stanley. Despite that, I don't get the feeling that team is a Stanley Cup contender. I almost feel like they're overachieving in these last 13 games. I'd be happy for them to win the cup, even as a Calgary Flames fan. I think it'd be good for the hobby. That said, you have an opportunity here to pick up a McDavid and a Crosby, blue and the red. Pair them or go find the other ones for each player as well. And the Aho in the middle here. This design, Josh, I don't mind the design with like these black streaks going through almost in the shape of a Z or a Z, but pretty cool cards. Anything you'd like to add on those ones?
Well, I think what I learned about this design just by seeing the Austin Matthews and now the Crosby is I really prefer the cards that have that where that's not as zoomed in on the player, like the case of the McDavid or the Aho, where you got the Crosby just like Matthews. And Marner is the same way. Is more kind of more of a close up on the player, and I think how you put it is exactly true. It takes away too much of the PMG background that really makes a card a PMG that intense foil.
Well, that said, I just want to draw one. I hear what you're saying when you compare the Matthews to the Crosby, and I just want to open these up and just show what I mean. So the Matthews versus the Crosby card feels balanced and centered. It feels more symmetrical because we see his body over on this left third of the card, whereas on Matthews, there's nothing over here. So it feels unbalanced. That said, though, Josh, I hear what you're saying. This is a lot more similar to this card than it is to the Aho or the Marner or the McDavid. But we're kind of being really picky here on design aesthetic. So, bid for yourselves, guys, of course, as always. And they're all really cool cards. And the Crosby just got a bid, and we are 3 minutes away, almost 2 minutes away from the 5-minute levels. So again, everything needs a bid to get to the next level. Let's see if we can get through all these before the half-hour mark here. Here's the Aho Future Watch Auto Patch in an SGC 8.5 with a 10 autograph. Pretty cool card. I mean, yeah, just a really cool Future Watch Auto Patch. These are, to me, among the most important auto patches of a player's rookie year, along with the Cup and the Ultimate and this one. And if they have nice premieres, those are my favorites. We got the monumental patch of Steven Stamkos. Big lightning bolt going through it. Nice on-card autograph right there. Sitting at $875. This is a one of one. And then finally on this row, we have a Cale Makar Cup RPA out of 99. It's a BGS 9, decent 3-color patch, sitting at $3,100. Now, Josh, I don't know comps on this card, but $3,100 for a Cale, I have to think this card was flirting with $20,000 a year and a half, 2 years ago. I'm guessing maybe I'm high, but while you're digging away for some info, I'm curious to hear because 31 seems low to me, but if I'm not, I'd really like you to be able to mention that. The autograph is a bit weak here, along the bottom especially. This, as opposed to the McDavid, where there's a bit of a streak in the McDavid autograph right here, that doesn't take away from the aesthetic, to me at least. That's not bad for me. This long, light streak, that bothers me more, and maybe that's partially why it's not selling for as much as what I thought they might sell for. Josh, have you found out any information?
Yeah, so actually the last sale was a BGS 9.5 and went for $3,965, a little bit better patch, better auto. All-time high was, I think, 13,600, which was a PSA 9 in June of 2022. So that would have been right after they won the Stanley Cup. And everything was Makar. He won the Norris Trophy, and it was nobody could say Cale Makar without saying Bobby Orr. for that 2-month span too.
So 13,000
600.
US, but so about 17 to 18 Canadian. Maybe that's where I was thinking 20 when I said that. But still, I mean, I think that's a good price for this card today. Might not be a good price next week or next month or next year, but I think compared to what we've seen, that's not a bad price. All right, we are now into the 5-minute windows, guys. Every item that has orange needs a bid in the next 5 minutes to get into the next bidding window. We have this is a Cale Makar 2019 rookie Upper Deck Premier acetate patch auto at a 99, sitting at $750. And I just want to see if we have what kind of color we're looking at here. Does seem to be that we do have some blue up in the corner there, maybe some navy here, silver, white, and maroon. I think this is a legit 5-color patch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, unless this blue and that blue are the same, but I don't think so. I think this is patch and this is jersey. So I think we have a legit 5-color patch right there. Numbered at a 99, 55 and 99. Autograph. He does the same thing on this lower streak here. I think he must rush this because the ink isn't laid down very well on that final streak on what seems to be his first initial, the C. Pretty nice looking card overall. Another Makar Upper Deck signature renditions. Nice blue paint pen ink on this one. Sorry, 1 second. Nice blue paint pen ink on this. The card is a 7. The autograph is a 10. Pretty nice looking card right there. And then we have the 2019 Artifacts Sidney Crosby Auto Materials Emerald patch jersey out of 10. I think it's a sticker auto. Let's just confirm. Yeah, sticker auto, but that's a beautiful autograph right there. And that card is sitting right now at $310. All 3 of these need bids, guys, in the next 3 minutes to get into the next window. These 3 are going to go to the next window. Josh, any quick comments on these before we do the next row?
Huge fan of the Premier acetate RPAs out of 99. And if you're a color match fan, that Cale Makar has, like, it's color match to the nth degree. Very, very awesome. Yeah, the auto might be the one part, but it is signed on acetate, so sometimes maybe it's hard for the ink to stick on that. And then I'm actually a big fan of sometimes the signature renditions don't work in my opinion, but this Cale Makar one is really cool. Big fan of that one.
Yeah, I agree. It's very nice. Okay, and then the next row we have some jambalayas. We got the McDavid and the Crosby. Neither of them are achievements, which is what I want to see. They're both PSA 9s, so they're going to go for cheaper than 10s. This could be a really cool pair for somebody to pick up because, as Josh has advised us in the past, this is McDavid's first jambalaya. It is not Crosby's first, but is McDavid's, and I like this pattern. I like that kind of rustic or rusty color with the black and yellow. I think it's nice. I like the Crosby as well. And then we have a 2020 Leon Draisaitl PMG green, the retro version. This is out of 10. It's only $270 right now. I say only because I think PMGs, these ones from 2024 have come down in value quite a bit since their release, but that's still a pretty cool card. And it's probably his first retro PMG, I would have to think. So pretty cool. But Josh, what additional information can you give us on these 3? And just before you do that, we are less than 1 minute away from the next window, you guys.
Yeah, I make this comment in a positive light. PMG values have come down so much in the past really year that it makes a lot of these cards affordable. Is that, there's so many cards in the auction tonight that would have been probably out of the grasp of many collectors that as more of a collector of these myself, it makes me excited that it's like, oh, like I can actually, buy some of these at this point. And so I think that that's cool. I'm a huge jambalaya fan. Like you said, I'm focused on the first. This particular design actually looks really cool in hand. The pictures never do jambalayas justice, but in particular, these ones really pop, especially under good lighting.
3 seconds left. Here we go. McDavid got a bid to get to the next window, but it looks like the Crosby is going to be sold for just over $200. $210 on the Crosby, $325 on the Draisaitl. We didn't get to these 3 cards here, but we had a Draisaitl and Ovechkin Platinum Portraits from 2020 Metal Universe. PSA 9 on the Ovechkin, PSA 10 on the Draisaitl. 408 for the Ovechkin, 165 right now, but still alive on the Draisaitl. And then we've got the Bedard Team Canada Juniors patch, PSA 8 auto patch is at sold for $1,230. This McDavid 2023 Upper Deck, what is this thing? An 85, 200 by 85 gold PSA 10 sold for $38. I thought that was a rare card. I don't know much about it. This is still alive, being the Matthews PMG green from 2022, still going. So let's scroll all the way to the top, Josh, and let's hit refresh, and we will see which cards have sold. So we will do that. Hobby Champ says Draisaitl would look great in Sabres blue and gold. Oh, would he ever? Michael says Sid has one of the nicest signatures among current star athletes. Yep, I easily agree with that, right, Josh? I mean, that's kind of yeah,
beautiful.
For sure. CC says, is the Crosby PMG listed as 2012 misleading as it is a 2020? I don't think so. Let's just go have a quick look at it. Which one are you talking about? Crosby. This one here. No. Oh, he's talking about this one here. Must be. This is a 2020 card.
Yeah, he's saying the list, the PWCC title says it's a 2012 Flair Retro, so that is a mistake.
That is a mistake. Yeah, well, good eye, CC. Good eye on that for sure. Yeah, you are definitely correct. That is a typo or an oversight by PWCC for sure. So, yeah. Okay. Let's go back to the top here and see. Let's go to the bottom, Josh, and see what has sold. Let's go through the solds because we have a few seconds here. So we saw those. We've seen these guys. The Crosby Artifacts does 372. The Makar Renditions does 250. The Makar Premier RPA does 900. Beautiful card. 115 on Aho. 420 on McDavid, second year PMG. 126 on Marner, rookie year PMG. McDavid PSA 9 Young Gun does 900. The SPA Future Watch Auto Tribute or Retro does 6,600. The Draisaitl PMG Blue rookie does 468. The Crosby 2014 PMG Red does 117. The 2 Young Guns, the SGC 10 just outsells the BGS 9.5, 1470 to 1350. And Josh, it almost seemed like you had said before that the BGS often outsells the SGC. Are you surprised by this?
A little bit, yeah. But again, it comes down. I think the challenge in comping a BGS 9.5 is it has the biggest spectrum of condition, right? You have the min gem, and then you can have true gem plus, right? And so I always, it's so hard on face value to try to, I don't like comping BGS cards for that reason.
It does make it tougher for sure. Yeah, and good call out on the subgrade issue as well. Okay, the Gretzky jersey card from 98 McDonald's does 348. That seems like a good price to me. 312 on the Donruss Elite Status out of 100. 186 bought you a PSA 5 Bobby Clark rookie card tonight, and a nice PSA 5 Bobby Clark, in my opinion. 588 bought you the PSA 7 Gilbert Perreault. 690 on the PSA 8 Rogie Vachon, and 372 on the PSA 6 Yvonne Cornwallier. The Austin, okay, so those are all sold. Everything else is still alive. Above, looks like we lost about half the cards there. 20 seconds left in this window. So what needs a bid? McDavid needs a bid here in 16 seconds. These are all going. These are all going. These are going. These are going, although this Crosby Jambalaya needs a bid. These are all going to the next window. The Tkachuk needs a bid. In the net. Oh, the Tkachuk looks like that has just sold for $276. Everything else is in the window, is still going. Now we see this, that the 67 Topps Gordie Howe PSA 8 sold for $780. Congratulations to the new owner of that. I think that's a great buy. Anything else down here sell on us? Just the Crosby. Okay, so as we keep on going up, the Cornwall. So we had, the other one sold below. So this one does 324. Well, let's go look what the other one sold for to remind us again in a moment, because this is the lesser of the two. Yep. This is 324. The Bobby Hall 64 tall boy does 216. The checklist is still going. Needs a bid. 4 minutes to get a bid in on these cards, guys, that are still alive. All right. The Cornwall PSA 6, the worst center of the 2 6s tonight, does 325. Let's scroll all the way down and find the other one.
Might pass.
Does 372. Now, this includes buyer's premium. So I think they're probably right at the same place, right? We were at what? 324 times 1.2 is 388. So whoever bought this card, in my opinion, did a lot better tonight because you paid less than the person who's going to buy this card, which is a far inferior, inferior copy, in my opinion. Go ahead.
That one sold for 324.
Thank you, Josh. Okay, it sold later. It sold. Oh, it did sell. Thank you. My bad. I got to take that all back. This did sell for 324, which is less than 372. I had that mixed up. Sorry about that, everybody. The 372 card. So that everything worked out as it should have. The nicer card sold for about $50 more than the inferior card.
I still like the 372 buy a lot better.
Oh, way better. Yeah. No, to me, it should this card here at 372. Yeah, I think it should have outsold the other one by even more. You know, I think that's what you're saying as well. Hobby Champs here says, thank God you don't do this show for baseball, football, and basketball, or I'd never win anything. LOL. And I'm bidding heavy tonight. Good luck, Hobby Champs. If you heard earlier, I'd appreciate if you'd use the Sports Cards Live affiliate link. I'm going to put that in the chat one more time, guys. And if you just copy it and paste it into a new browser, that'll earn the Sports Cards Live channel a small commission. Jack Bennett just bought the Keller Inscribed. Congratulations. He had a couple goals last night. Hobby Champ says, I feel like SGC is starting to overtake BGS for second place in end prices. Yeah, I'm not surprised by that. The Professor picked up the Aho Essential Credentials. Nice pickup, Professor. I really like that card. So, and it's a rookie. Congratulations on that. Very cool. Same as the Matthews has the rookie in there as well. All right. So let's do a refresh and bring just the cards that are still alive back to the top, and we will be able to track them a little bit smoother that way. I did notice, guys, that the Kansas City Chiefs did beat the Buffalo Bills tonight. So there you have it. Mahomes continues on. So what's still alive? We got the checklist. We got the Gretzky Topps rookie, the Bork BVG 9.5 or BGS 9.5. We got the PSA 10 Topps Mario Lemieux, the Iserman Atomic Refractor, the Crosby Essential Credentials Red, the 101 Ovechkin, the Hot Shots Crosby, the PMG Crosby is actually a 2020 card. This is not a 2012 card, everybody. The Messier, the Crosby, and the Patrick Kane are still going. We still have a lot of cards alive here, Josh. Lots of them. These are all still going. These are all still going. These are all still going. 30 seconds until we lose some more. So let's hover over here and see what happens. Lucas says Keller, Maselli, and now Genther is seeing a few games. Go Yotes. Yeah, the Coyotes are having a good year, Lucas. Well, good at Coyote standards. 14 seconds left in this window, you guys. This Austin Matthews PMG green out of 10 needs a bid. 270, even for the caricature card, is very low, I think. Let's see what happens here. Did someone snipe it at the final moment? Doesn't seem to be. Nope. And that card sells for $324. And if anything, that should be a signed Upper Deck to go back to real pictures of the players, because that card, I don't think should sell for $324. What do you think, Josh? Do you think that's a result of the image used, the cartoon, or do you think we just have some PMG fatigue at this point?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, there is a normal picture Austin Matthews. This was a special retro set that was included in 2022 Metal Universe. So I don't think it replaces the regular Austin Matthews card. It's maybe meant to appeal to that sort of crossover comic book collector and give the tie into that Fleer Marvel, or the Fleer metal release, the Marvel metal release from 2013. So yeah, it's probably the weakness of the PMGs, and there's just a lot of them right now. And I think as a PMG collector, that's something you have to be concerned about.
Mike Kemmel won the green
Congrats.
retro Matthews PMG. So that's this one here? Yeah, that's this one here. Well, Mike, congratulations. I mean, despite everything I said about it, I mean, it's still a cool card. Not one I would buy for myself, but I think it's still a cool card. And I don't know where else you're going to get a green PMG Matthews for $325. So congratulations, Mike. Congratulations. Sam says, real pictures or better artists? I think for me, I'm going to go with real pictures, Sam. For me, I think I'm going to go with real pictures. But then again, I do heavily collect a set that is art, but it's just, to me, it's way better. It's not Marvel-y. So maybe it doesn't have to be real pictures, but for PMGs that have always been real pictures, I think I'd want to see that continue, just for the continuity.
Yeah, hey Jeremy, I'm not a big comic book guy, but I would actually be, if anyone in the chat would love to get more opinions on this, because I don't know if you can make the argument that it kind of fits sort of like when you make a artistic representation of someone in sort of the comic genre, that it is like an exaggerated version of yourself to some extent. And so I'd just be curious if there's like real big comic book fans that think that that's actually a good artistic representational in that sort of vein, or if it's crappy art in their opinion.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to find out. The Stamkos Monumental sells for $1,290. That's good to see. Nice card there. Congrats. The Crosby Ultra Stars Gold does $240. The Kane PMG Red, $70. Not bad for a beautiful card. The Gretzky 2020 Retro PMG Red does $336. These are all still alive. The Gretzky Tops Rookie PSA 7 does $1,770. And the 64 Tallboy Checklist does $324. We will refresh, bring everything up to the top, and go to some comments here from the rest of you. Mike Kemmel says, well, if they don't ever do it again, wouldn't be the only one.
True.
What does that mean? I don't get it.
If they don't ever do the 2013 Marvel retro or tributes again, that this would be the only time that the Upper Deck will have done it.
So it would be the only one then. Yeah, would be the only. That's why I was confused. Yeah. If they don't ever do it again, Mike, you have a really neat card for sure. I think that's really cool. And then 86 Collectibles says, I'm also a comic book gamer and own a Pasta PMG Red that I love. Is that a PMG Red from this Marvel themed one? 86, is that what you're getting at? Must be, otherwise I don't think you might not have said it. Or do you have a Pasternak PMG from another year or something? Okay, so here's what's left now. The Bork needs a bid in 40 seconds. The Lemieux is going to go. The Yzerman needs a bid. I'm pretty sure it's going to get one. These three cards all are going to the next window, as are the bookends here. The Crosby Blue Ice needs a bid. The Matthews and Crosby here need a bid. Aho is going to the next window. And then on these two, they need bids. Let's hover right here on these two and see what's going to happen here, Josh. Let's see if the Makar Cup RPA is going to sell for $34 plus $68 for $4,080. Is this? It looks like it does. Sells for $4,080. That was a quick turnover by PWCC's engine there, by the way.
Yeah.
And Draisaitl, the Draisaitl Platinum Portraits sells for $210. All right, let's see what else sold. Let's see what else is sold. The Matthews does $540. The rookie PMG Red. The Crosby Blue does $324. The Blue Ice Crosby does $98. We need bids on these in the next 4.5 minutes, everybody. The Professor picked up the Draisaitl Platinum Portraits. Yeah, Professor picks up some pretty cool cards. I gotta say that.
How do I get in his will? That's what I want to know.
What's that?
How do I get in his will? That's what I want to know.
86 says artsy fartsy looking on the Marvel PMGs. Turpin Forcer. I don't think the hockey community respects PMG. Oh, I think they do. I think there's a contingent that does Terp. I think there's a contingent that does, but maybe the greater hobby doesn't. Maybe you're right about that. 86, don't remember the year, but it has a comic book like look. Okay, good to know. Mike Hemmel's thanking you, Josh. That's what he meant. And Professor says, reflective of your and Josh's good mentoring. Well, appreciate that, Professor. Appreciate that. Thanks for all you do in the hobby as well, Professor, keeping many of us informed on things going on. Okay. 3 minutes left. We need bids on a bunch of these cards. Oh, the Bork sold. The Bork sold for $1,980. Let's see what else sold in that last window. We've got 3 minutes left here. Oh, the Hot Shots just got a bid up to $150. The Crosby, as we mentioned, sold, and these two sold, and these two sold. And that was it. Let's refresh, Josh. Keep ourselves organized. All right. Let's just get that out of the way to not make it obvious. All right. So the Topps PSA 10 Mary Lemieux base is at $240. The Yzerman Atomic Refractor is at $550, and the Crosby Essential Credentials is at $300. I love that card. I own one. Keep in mind, the Ovechkin 101s at $330. The Hot Shots is at $150. We had a question about that here. Luigi asks, "Is the Hot Shots series just a 1-year run?" Well, Luigi, wouldn't you think? You'd think it was, wouldn't you? However, Josh, can you put that up for Luigi again, please?
2022.
Luigi, that is the 2021 version, I believe.
Oh, 2022.
2022 version. So, Luigi, you can see that now as we bring the screen back up. Where did we all go? There we are. You can see that the one Josh showed is from 2022, whereas this one is from 2012. And so is that a one-shot thing? I don't think so. I will say one thing, though, Josh, Luigi, and everybody else on that. They did put 10 years in between them.
Yep. Fair point.
Fair point, but I would have preferred they change up the die cut at least change the die cut. Like they just copied the exact same template and just put a new image of the player on top. So, okay, what else? Jack Bennett, 2 pickups tonight, just got the DeBrincat Seismic 10. Jack Bennett, congrats. And Jack, I'm curious to ask you, are you a Red Wings fan, or were you a fan of his in the Blackhawks? Are you simply a DeBrincat fan, or just a card, or are you doing Seismics? Please let us know. Curious. Inquiring minds want to know. 46 seconds left, guys, to get bids in on the cards that need them. And Turpin Forcer says, do you think the Bedard SP will come down in value when the Young Guns is released? Oh my gosh. Yes. 90% yes, I think. And it's not even thinking. I know it will. I am like 95% confident that it will. So take that for what it's worth, Turpin Forcer. I guarantee it. I pretty much guarantee it. Josh, you want to size in? You want to weigh in on that? Although we are 10 seconds away, guys. So let's see what happens here on the Ovechkin 1 of 1. 5 seconds. It's at 3:30. Is it going to get a bid? 1 second remains. And the Ovechkin has sold for $396. Let's see what else is sold, guys. The Yzerman has sold for $660. I wonder who won that card. The Crosby Essential Credentials Red has sold for $360. What else is sold here? That's it. That's it. And I am the proud new owner of this Steve Yzerman Atomic Refractor, which will be broken out of its PSA slab and sent to tag to go into a tag holder and to get a really nice accurate grade on it. Let's hit refresh and see what happens. And let's see how many cards we have still alive. Lemieux is still alive. Crosby is still alive. And Messier. And this is the final 5-minute window of extended bidding, guys, before the 1-minute windows. And that's when it goes fast. Can't even keep up. So we are down to 5 cards. Everything else is sold tonight. We are down to the Lemieux PSA 10 Topps base from 1989, the 2012 Fleer Retro, Crosby Hot Shots, the 2012 Fleer Retro, Messier PMG Red, the 2016 Fleer Showcase, Sidney Crosby Essential Credentials Future PSA 8, and the Sebastian Aho Future Watch Auto Patch from 2016, rookie card, rookie RPA, really cool card. Michael says, does PWC sell any raw cards? Yeah, they do, but their raw cards are in these are in top loaders that have MBA stickers on them. So they're authenticated by MBA. So right here, this is a raw card, Michael. This is a raw card because it's in a top loader and it's got this. This is not slab. This is not hard slab. It's just a top loader with a sticker on top of it and certified authentic by MBA, but not graded. That's how they do raw cards. They authenticate them. And tonight, that's the only one I see that we were watching. But if you go to their main site or you go to their auction, you'll see many, many more. Okay, we're down to 2.5 minutes left. The professor says Josh talked about the DeBrincat card on the Gong Show. Josh, do you remember what you said about it?
Yeah, Troy did. It's just a Seismic Gold rookie auto PSA 10. So if you're a DeBrincat fan, would be one of the probably nicer cards you could pick up. So I can't remember who got it in the chat, but congratulations whoever picked it up tonight.
It was a professor.
It was?
Yeah.
I thought it was somebody else.
Oh, it wasn't the professor. Sorry. No, it was Jack Bennett. Sorry, Jack. Yeah. It wasn't the professor. It was Jack Bennett. There you go. Very cool. Well, congratulations again, Jack. And sorry, Professor. I didn't mean to misassign the card to you. Just under 2 minutes left, guys. The Lemieux needs a bid. It's a 240, which is 284 or 288 with buyer's premium. This needs a bid to get to the next window. Pop 24, as Josh had mentioned. I don't know why PWCC doesn't put Pop 24. To me, that's important and interesting.
Yeah.
So
this is already an all-time record sale too. The all-time high previously for this card was 205.
When? Do you have the date?
August of 2022.
Ooh, so that was a high point of the hobby, higher than now. Maybe eyes were on other cards at that time. Hard to say why, of course, comps aren't a perfect science, that's for sure. But I think it's a cool card. We have bids on the Hot Shots and the Messi, so they're going to make it into the 1-minute windows. And we have a bid on the Aho, and then this Crosby at 320 needs another bid. Needs another bid in the next 50 seconds or so. I love the professor says, not me, but I was bidding on it. So there you go. There you go. We know that we had interest in that card as well, within our chat at least, which is pretty cool. And if any of you have used the link that I put in the chat and gone and bid on one on a card and won on a card, I greatly appreciate that way of supporting the channel and the content and the work that we're doing here. Greatly, greatly appreciate that. All right. Let's see what happened in hockey tonight, guys, while we let these final 10 seconds count down here. Now that I can get off the app on my phone because I won the card I was after. Rangers are beating the Ducks 3-2. The Islanders in overtime win for Patrick Waugh's coaching debut, guys.
There you go.
listen, I'm not the biggest Patrick Waugh fan, but it's pretty cool. I have nothing against the guy. Nice to see that the team rallies for their new coach, and they do it in fashion in overtime with the goal scored by Bo Horvat, assisted by Matthew Barzal. Very cool. I'd hope that Patrick Waugh buys Bo Horvat a nice meal or a Rolex, whatever the custom is these days for these guys. I don't know what it is. So the Lemieux has now sold. Guys, there's already only 20 seconds left in the next window. Keep that in mind. You have 20 seconds to get a bid in on the Messier PMG Red. It needs a bid in the next 15 seconds. So does the Aho. It needs a bid in the next 10 seconds, or these are going to sell. Let's just keep our eyes on these two, and then we'll talk about the cards that sold, and maybe these two have sold as well. Yeah, it looks like these are going to sell right now. Oh, no, the Aho got a bid. Sniper came through on the Aho, but they did not come through on the Messier. The Messier is sold for $198 for the PMG Red.
Wow.
And the Lemieux 89 tops, PSA 10, Pop 24, sells for $288. We are
Okay,
down.
can we stop right there for a second? Can you go back up? A year and a half ago, I tell you, a 1989 Mario Lemieux outsells a Mark Messier Red PMG. You're telling me I'm the biggest idiot on the planet.
Yeah, could not have seen that coming. However, there's 100 of these and only 24 of those in the.
I get it.
100, yeah, but there's thousands of these total. So, but I definitely hear what you're saying. So 15 seconds now left to get bids in on the Crosby Essential Credentials Future and the Crosby Hot Shots. We're at 170 on the Hot Shots, 340, and there's a bid on the credentials. Looks like the Hot Shots has been sold for $204. That leaves us with two cards left. Let's hit refresh and bring them to the top. JP was also bidding on the DeBrincat. Lots of action. JP, good to see you, buddy. Thanks for letting us know you're here. And we're down to two final cards, guys. 35 seconds left. The Aho needs a bid. Looks like we have a bit of a bidding war here on the Crosby. Slight bidding war maybe on the Crosby, but the Aho needs a bid in 27 seconds. Congratulations to Patrick Waugh and the New York Islanders for winning in his debut. The Red Wings beat the Tampa Bay Lightning tonight without Patrick Kane. That's pretty cool. 2-1. Good goaltending by Detroit's goaltender. They had Lyon in net, 28 shots, 27 saves. And there we go. The Aho gets another bid. They're both going to go into the next window.
Am I the only one that's trying to figure out the patch on the Sebastian Aho? Looks an awful lot like a K. And where would there be a K on a Carolina Hurricanes jersey?
Where it might be is what they've done in the past is they've taken a jersey, stitch on a whole bunch of things onto the back, like 2015 draft pick.
Oh,
I've seen that before. They've done that before, right? Like Carolina Hurricanes, Sebastian Aho, 2015-16 draft pick, whatever else they can do to get as much patch real estate out of the jerseys, out of these like player worn photo shoot jerseys as possible. That'd be my guess, Josh, that it is a K from the word pick.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah. And it looks like we might be done, guys. As we do some patch investigative work, the final two cards of the night do sell. The Aho draft pick card sells for $264, and the Crosby Essential Credentials Future does $432. And that is an awesome card, PSA 8. So congratulations to everybody who won cards, myself included. I can congratulate myself for picking up the Steve Yzerman right here. Can't wait to get that and cross it over to a tag slab. They're going to look so much better in that. Can't wait for that. The Professor picked up the Aho. Congratulations, Professor. Jeff McMahon says, not a good night for Tampa teams in Detroit tonight. No. All right. Well, that wraps up the items that we were watching tonight, guys. There were 50 of them. That was fun. Josh, any final comments before we wrap up the show? And same to the chat. Any final comments from you guys? Please get them in there.
I think tonight was an indication of the variety that we see week to week on this show. Some weeks we have a lot of like pre-war and heavy on the vintage cards. And really, I think the theme of tonight was the mid-2000 inserts, where there's just a ton of Crosby inserts and PMGs galore and stuff like that. So a lot of interesting cards that we don't get to talk a lot about. And so I was grateful for that tonight.
Yeah, that we had a nice selection tonight for sure. Like cards we don't often see. So good call out. I agree with that. Hobby Champs won the Draisaitl PMG and the Gretzky status.
Nice.
Very cool. Hobby Champs. Congratulations. JP wants to know, did Aho win a 44 in his first year? I don't think so. Mike Kemmel says the Canes team is different without Svechnikov. Yeah. But is he hurt again? Is Svechnikov hurt again?
I have no idea. Hope not.
Or maybe from earlier. I don't know. All right, guys. Well, listen, thanks again for joining us tonight. We plan to be back again next Sunday to the same show yet again. And that's about it. Sunday night. Hope you all had a great weekend. Hope you picked up some nice cards, if not here, elsewhere. Hope you guys enjoyed the football, the hockey, the basketball. And yeah, that's it. Have a great week ahead. Everybody. I'm trying to fight off another cold here. You know, when you have young kids, they like as soon as I get healthy, Josh, I'm sick kids go back to school. I get sick within a couple of days. Never fails. Hopefully
I've been there.
For my show tomorrow night. Somebody asked earlier, I forgot to mention they asked if I was going to be live on Thursday night for the Premier auction. And the answer is yes. I will be doing the PWCC Premier auction this Thursday night, you guys. Now, Adam Gray, who's been doing it with me for 3 years, unfortunately isn't able to make it for the first chunk of the show. So instead, coming in his place is none other than Cajun Cardboard. Brian will be joining me in the co-pilot seat on Thursday for the PWCC Premier Auction Ending Watch Party show. And you may know Brian from the Cajun Cardboard YouTube channel. He's a basketball expert, card expert, Jordan card expert. He'll be joining me here on Thursday. So hopefully we see you guys then. The Gong Show drops in a few hours. Check that out, everybody. Check it out. And with that, thank you for joining us. Have a great week ahead. This episode of the PWCC Hockey Weekly Auction Ending Watch Party is over.